We begin with South Korea as our top focus this hour. As Seoul City Mayor Park Won-soon was found dead after going missing. Park's body was found at Mount Bukak in South Korean capital of Seoul. His phone signal was last detected to the area. Park's daughter reported him missing after his phone was found switched off. His daughter said that Park left a message which resembled a will. A massive search operation, which was a night operation, was launched to locate the mayor, who has been seen as a potential presidential candidate in South Korea. Recently, a former secretary of Park filed a complaint against him over alleged incidents of sexual harassment. The police have said that they are investigating the cause of his death. Meanwhile, acting Seoul City Mayor has vowed to take Park's legacy forward.
비통한 심정을 금할 길이 없습니다. 삼가 부인의 명복을 빕니다. 갑작스러운 비보로 슬픔과 혼란에 빠지셨을 시민 여러분께도 깊은 위로의 말씀을 드립니다. 서울시정은 안전과 복지를 최우선으로 하는 박원순 시장의 시정 철학에 따라 중단 없이 굳건히 계속되어야 합니다.
For more details, let's quickly go across to Bruce Harrison, who's joining me live from Seoul. Bruce, this indeed is a very sad day for Seoul today. Now that the body has been discovered, what are the latest details that have emerged out of the case, and when can we expect the police to release the cause of death?
It's unclear at this point when and if the police will release the cause of death, especially when it comes to specifics. All we know so far is that they were able to find his body very early this morning. I was up watching the press conference when they made that announcement, and it was in a wooded area in northern Seoul. And the police explicitly said at that point that they were able to identify the mayor based off stationery as well as some other items that was found on his body, but they did say there was no suicide note on the mayor and they do not suspect foul play. So we simply have to go back to other information the police released earlier in the day based on what Park Won-soon's daughter had said to try and piece this together at this time. But it's unclear, like I said, when they will come forward following an autopsy and perhaps announce an official cause of death. We're still waiting for that here in Seoul.
Right. Bruce, there are also media reports of alleged sexual harassment doing the rounds. Could you also elaborate on that angle?
This was a major breaking story, and it came during the search for Mayor Park Won-soon. It was quite shocking. And we had heard among the media that maybe a story was going to drop of some kind. And then, yes, several hours after the search began, a local broadcaster first carried these allegations that Mr. Park had, in fact, sexually assaulted one of his former secretaries. Other local media followed suit in carrying the story, and the police did eventually confirm that someone had come to the police department not far from Park's office with these formal complaints against the now late mayor. We don't know any more at this time. Park Won-soon has been seen among many circles in South Korea as a champion of women's rights, a fighter for income equality and social justice here in South Korea. But he'd be far from the first leader in city politics to fall from grace because of such allegations. There was An Hee-jung in the city of Suwon, who's now in jail on rape charges, and there's several others throughout South Korea within the past few years working in city governments across the country that have gone down in similar fashion or faced charges.
Right. But Bruce, it's equally important to talk about how Park Won-soon was a prominent mayor, having become the first mayor to be re-elected for a third term and played a massive role in the protests, I believe, against Park Geun-hye in 2017.
Oh, indeed. He was a vocal supporter of the candlelight movement that spread throughout the cities of downtown Seoul. It was an incredible scene. I covered it for many and many weeks, and Park was seen himself sometimes in Seoul Plaza observing the demonstrations. He leaves a legacy, like you said, the first three-term mayor, but a man who campaigned as an independent, shocked the, at the time, two-party political system to win his first mayor's office on the back of his roles as a human rights lawyer and a civic activist. And I believe that his acting mayor has said he will continue those legacies, fighting for income equality, as well as breaking down ties between big corporations and politics. Those are the things that Pak will be remembered for mostly, as well as his modernization of Seoul City. But right now, we're still trying to learn more about exactly why he died, as well as these allegations against him that came at such a shocking time.
Right, and perhaps we'll come back to you as and when more details emerge. For now, let's leave it at that. Thank you so much for bringing us all the latest from Seoul. Indeed. We begin with South Korea as our top focus this hour. Seoul City Mayor Park Won-soon was found dead after going missing. Park's body was found at Mount